there's so many things that have, that we've all learned over the last 9 months. I mean, I think there's some personal things and there's some leadership pieces. I think, on the leadership side, I think that it's really changed the way that we've all thought about hiring. I think in the past, we've tried to hire people in locations where we have critical mass because we thought it's better for people's career development and easier for them to collaborate. But since we've all been forced into being remote now for 9 months, I think we've realized that if you have somebody in a particular location who's willing to work the hours to be able to collaborate, you can do it very effectively. So it's changed how we thought about hiring. It's changed, I think, how we've thought about all of our remote teammates. Typically, most of the meetings largely take place in one physical location, and then there are people plugging in remotely, but where, they're really a little bit off to the side. They can't participate in the meeting as fully as you'd like. And with everybody being remote and everybody just getting one square, it's meant that we've got contributions and participation on a much more even playing field. And it's really changed the ideas that we've had and the discussions we've had. And I think even when we go back to having meetings in person, I think we're going to continue to incorporate a lot of the things we learned in these virtual meetings to make sure we're getting the right engagement from all of our remote teammates. I think also it's changed the way that we've thought about how you have to invent. I think that in many ways, invention is one of the hardest things to do virtually. And that's because invention tends to be sloppy. It's not like you can organize 45 minutes and say, we're going to invent this product right now. What typically happens is you're talking about an idea, and the initial idea is not the one you end up with, and people are riffing on top of what one another says, and they interrupt people, and they get animated, and then you finish the meeting, and you don't really quite get there, but 3 people leave the meeting and start working on a whiteboard outside that conference room. All of those things are much harder to do virtually, especially because the technology, while so much better than 5 years ago, when 2 people talk at once, it really cancels out the sound on both sides, so people don't interrupt each other. You just don't riff the same way. So it's really changed the way that we've had to think about how we drive innovation and how we solicit information from our builders and the types of meetings that we run and how long those meetings run. So a lot of things I think that we've learned in the process. And, I would say personally that, 2 things that I probably learned about myself. Number one is that I just miss being around people. I miss being physically around my teammates a lot more than I already thought I would. It's for whatever reason, it's just really different to be interacting virtually than in person. There's just this connection and chemistry that you get and bonding that you get being in person. So I miss that. And then I also think that it's just, I think human beings need things to look forward to. And I think that the pandemic, for good reason, have robbed all of us of so many things that we're looking forward to. And I think you have to find new things because you can't just keep working intensely like, so many people have done, and a lot of people on our team have done as well. You need to have some balance, and you need to have other things you can look forward to. So those are probably some of the things I've learned during the pandemic.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.